Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn how to plot a data from database MariaDB, and following are the topics that we are going to discuss. Firstly, we will learn to create a MariaDB database. Then we will learn to create a connection between Matplotlib and MariaDB server. And in last, we will learn to visualize the data using Matplotlib. So let's begin with the steps of creating a MariaDB database. So the firstly and the most important step is to download and install the MariaDB in your system, and the link to download it is given in the documentation. Next, you have to connect with the MariaDB database. After connecting with database, you have to create a database in MariaDB. Then you have to use this database and create a table. Then after creating the table, you have to insert the record inside the table, and in last you have to view this table. So I will show you all these steps with the help of example. So firstly, you have to open the MySQL client MariaDB 10.09 by searching it in a search bar of your system. Then you have to connect with the database by entering a password. So here I enter the password and hit enter. You can see that it connect to MariaDB monitor. So after connecting it, you have to create a database in MariaDB, and for creating a database, the command is create database and the name of your database. So I want to create a database with the name Python guides, and then add a colon and hit enter. You can see that query is okay. Now after creating the database, we have to use this database, and for using this database we will use the use statement, and after that you have to pass the name of the database which you want to use. So I pass the name as use Python guide and enter a colon again and hit enter. You can see that it shows the output database changed. Now you have to create a table for entering the records, and for creating the table, the statement is create table. Then you have to enter the name of your table which you want to create. So I want to create a table with the name languages underscore popularity. I hit enter, and now you have to set the columns with their data type. So the first column I want to create is programming underscore languages, and I want to create it in as a varchar data type, and I set its value to 150. Next column I want to set is a popularity, and I want to also create it as a varchar data type, and I set its value to 10. Now I close the parenthesis, end it with colon and hit enter. You can see that query is okay. It means successfully created the table. So after creating the table, we have to enter the records, and for this we have to insert this record. So we will use the insert into statement. So I write insert into, then we have to write the name of the table in which we want to insert. So the name of the table is languages underscore popularity. Then we have to pass the values to the column which we want to insert. Now I enter the values. So here I enter the data successfully, end it with the colon and hit enter button. You can see that it will shows that query okay, 6 rows affected. It means data inserted successfully. Now we have to view the table, and for viewing the table we will use the select statement. So I enter select, star means everything from the statement, from, and the name of the table. So the name of the table is languages underscore popularity. Now insert the colon and hit enter. So here you can see that here is the table which was created. So with this we have learned to create the MariaDB database. So now we will learn to create a connection between Matplotlib and MariaDB. So firstly we have to install the MariaDB connector. So I will explain you what is MariaDB. MariaDB is an open source relational database management system. In short form we can say RDBMS, that is highly compatible drop-in replacement of MySQL. So now we will understand what is connector. A connector is used when we have to utilize MariaDB with other programming languages. And the work of the MariaDB is to provide access to the MariaDB server or a driver to the required language. Thus, it generates a connection between programming language and the MariaDB server. So, after installing it, the next step is you have to import this MariaDB connector. Then you will have to use the connect method for the MariaDB connection. Then we will create a variable to save the current database. Then we will execute the database. We create a blank list, fetch the data from the database and insert it in. So now I will show you all these steps with the help of an example, so you clearly understand how we create a connection between Matplotlib and MariaDB. So as I told you, the first requirement is to install the MariaDB connector, and to install it, the command is pip install MariaDB. I execute this cell and I will show you the output. In my case, it is already installed, so it will show the requirement already satisfied. Then we have to make a connection to the MariaDB. So we have to import this connector. So the command is import MariaDB. Now I execute this cell. It will run successfully. After importing this connector, you have to create a connection to the database. So I use the db_con variable which store the result of this connection. So I use the MariaDB.connect method for this, and here I pass user, password, host, port and database as a keyword argument. I will explain you. So the first one is a user. It is none other than the name of the user, which I set it as root. The second one is password. It is the password of your database. I set it to root. The third one is host. It is the name of the host which we are using. Either it is a local host or it is another host. I am using the local host, so I set its value to local host. Then the another keyword is a port. So MariaDB port is a number assigned to the socket with which we will establish a connection in order to connect the server and the client application in network. So in my case, the port number is 3307. The last one is database. It is the name of the database which we want to fetch. So my name of the database is Python guides. So I set it to Python guides. You have to mention these details according to your system preferences. After this, we are creating a cursor object using the cursor method. So I create a variable with the name myCursor, and here I assign db_con.cursor method to it. Now I execute this and I will show that it will successfully run. Now after that, we have to fetch data from the MariaDB database. So for this I use this execute method, and as an argument I pass the select statement. So I pass as select programming underscore languages. It is the name of the column, and the popularity is also the name of the column, from languages underscore popularity. It is the name of the table. Then I use the fetch all method which will fetch all these details and save it into the result variable. Next, I will create a list, a blank list with the name programming underscore languages and popularity. I execute this cell also. It will successfully run. Now I have append this list with the database records which are fetched. For this I use the for loop, and here I append programming underscore languages and popularity to this list. Now I execute this. After that, I print the data list. So I will show you. It shows that the name of the programming languages and the popularity of the programming languages. You can see that these name of the programming languages and the popularity is the same which you have created in your database table. I will show you. You can see that here we have a programming languages with the name Python, Java, C#, PHP, other, having a popularity value as 29.66. Now I will show you. Here you can see that similarly we have a programming language Python, Java, C#, and the popularity as a 29.66. So basically it fetch the data from the database using the MariaDB connector. So with this, we have learned to create a connection between Matplotlib and MariaDB. Now we will learn to visualize the data using Matplotlib. I will show you the example. So here I write a code for the visualization of our data. So firstly, we have to import the library. As we want to visualize the data, we have to import the Matplotlib library with the pyplot module. Then I want to visualize the data in the py form. So I call the py function, pass data as a popularity, set its radius to 1.35 by passing the keyword argument radius. I also pass the auto PCT keyword argument to showing the percentage on the pie, and I set its value to percentage 1.2 f%. It means it have two values in the float form or after the decimal point. Then to add a ligand, I call the ligand function, pass labels as a keyword argument. As a labels, I set the programming underscore languages name. Then I set the position of this label by using the bb box underscore to underscore anchor keyword, and I set its position to x as a 0.5, 0.92 as a y, and similar, and so on. Then to add a main title on the plot, I call the subtitle function. I pass a title as an argument and also change its font weight by passing the keyword argument font weight and set its value to bold. And at last I display the plot by calling the show function. Now I execute this cell. So here you can see that it plots a pie chart having the title popularity of a programming languages. You can see that each sector is shown with the different color having a different value on it. The blue color is represented as a Python, the orange one as a Java, and the green as a C hash, and so on. So with this, we have learned to plot a data from the database MariaDB, and in the next video, we will learn to plot a data from the database SQLite.